welcome back to my channel. I'm Jessica, and today I'm a happy girl. I'm a very happy girl. The experiment is officially over. This is the finale. I know Amanda did hers last year because she kind of approached this a little bit different than Paula and I did, because Paula and I are a little bit crazier apparently. And so we decided that we were going to upload on the same day and do our finales together. And this is mine. And in some ways, I'm kind of sad to see it go, but in more ways, I'm so happy because I can get back to my old panning style, which is definitely multitasking, and I couldn't do that on the experiment. So yeah, I'm kind of excited to get back to my true style of panning and say goodbye to the experiment. I think that it served its purpose. We got out of it what we were looking for, and I think our numbers are kind of all over the board because the three of us that did this experiment were very different styles of panners, and it shows. I think it's going to show in our numbers, and hopefully this just gives us a jumping off point, I guess, so that we know that things are approximate. A little more here, a little less there. It's not hard and fact science. There's a lot of variables, which we're going to get into, but I'm going to show you what I have left, because I said from day one that I was going to have some highlighter left, and you know I do. You guys know I do. If you guys have been following this at all, you know that I have got some highlighter left. So we're going to start with that for day 365. Highlighter. I was supposed to be able to finish, and I don't have everything here. I don't have all of my empties. I only brought over what I have left. But for a highlighter, I was supposed to be able to finish quite a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 highlighters. 2 of them were creams. The rest were powders. They were varying sizes, and combined they would have come out to 368.42 days. So that was just like a hair over a year. There was no way. There's no way. As you can tell, I'm a very subtle highlight kind of girl. I don't highlight all over my face. That's just not me. I have not been wearing highlighter for that long, which is ridiculous that I own as much as I do, because I'm not a highlighter girl. I do wear it. It's just not my thing. So, I knew I wasn't going to finish it. What I have left, obviously, is the Bare Minerals Rose Gossamer, which never got touched. Never got touched. It is still in a project, so it doesn't have to be finished until May 15th or 16th, I can't remember. So you will see this again. You will see it. Just not in the experiment, because the experiment is done. So the only other highlighter that I have left is this one. I mean, it's technically a blush, but we all know it's a highlighter. This is the e.l.f. Gotta Glow. I had to repress it because it just cracked on me. It is so thin. And I think that if I was a true highlighter girl, this would have been gone. If I highlighted like all the high points of my face and everything, and I did like the kind of highlighter, I think this would have been gone. It is incredibly thin. I don't even know if you guys can even tell in the camera, like just how thin that is. I know I'm going to keep on working on this, and I know it's not going to take me that awful long. It will be done in 2020. I can pretty much promise you that. The same with Rose Gossamer. That is going to be done. But this one was 0.097. So, I mean, this was a big one. And the fact that I made that much progress, I'm pretty impressed. So, I finished the gold version of this. I finished Gold Gossamer. That was the one that I started with. The Trestique Mini Highlight Stick. The Benefit What's Up that I got in Sephora Play. So it was like the deluxe size. And I finished the Tarte Amazonian Clay 12 Hour in Sparkler. So yeah, this is what was left, and I kind of knew that's what was going to happen. We'll worry about those another day. The next thing that I worked on was blush. I feel like if I had used blushes that were like my everyday tone kind of blushes and I didn't have to franken my blushes, I think I probably would have finished. I'm going to show you what I have left. I technically have 5 blushes left, which sounds insane, but they were all frankened into one. If you guys have been following along, you already know that. And I added eyeshadows into it to tone it down even more, because primary red does not belong on my cheeks. I'm sorry, but it doesn't. So I had that, this one, which didn't do a whole lot to tone it down. I had 2 pans from this Coastal Scents duo, and I had what was left of the e.l.f. contouring blush, which wasn't very much, and that's what I have left. But I added like 4 or 5 matte creams, like beiges, kind of into this as far as eyeshadows. So the amount of blush that I used probably would have equaled what was in these empty packages, and this is equal to probably 4 to 5, and I would have to look on my sheet, eyeshadows that I added in. But it's frankened. It is not technically done. That is my bad, because I probably shouldn't have done that since we were tallying for the experiment, but there was no way I was going to be able to use this blush the way it was. It wasn't going to happen. But I do feel strongly that if I had used neutral blushes, that is my preference, or like a nice peachy color, slightly pink, not like bubblegum pink, but you know, just like pinky nudes, that kind of stuff. If I had stayed with those types of blushes, I think I would have finished. I can't swear to that, because obviously that's not what I did, but I think the numbers for me, for my style of panning, had I not frankened, the blush numbers probably would have been fairly close to accurate. That being said, I do have like a very long face. I do like my blush. So, you know, I learned to do makeup in the 90s. That's what we did. We wore blush proudly. Yeah, we'll never know, because we're not doing this experiment again. It is done. But I am going to be working on these 5 blushes that are in one for my 200 in 2020, the 200 makeup products that I'm trying to finish. They're all going to be in that mix, along with those highlighters. All right, eyeshadows. Y'all know I finished them. That was the last ones that I had to finish. Let me get into that spreadsheet. Was the e.l.f. Mad for Matte palette, which I did finish, and the e.l.f. Eye Transformer palette. I finished that. I even frankened that, and I finished it. So I feel pretty good. I'm going to give you, you know, I didn't give you all the blush numbers, and I did not give you all the highlighter numbers of what I actually finished. Duh. Back up, Jess. Back up. All right, going back to the highlighter. It's late at night. This is me. Going back to the highlighter. Where is it? I should have finished 368.42 days. I only finished 200.75 days. If this had gone like another few weeks to a month, that number would have jumped drastically. But, you know, I can't count it if it's not done. Getting to the blush that I should have been able to finish. I had it set at 400 days. That was also my bad. I probably didn't even need to put this little guy in here that caused all the problems. But I did it. Nothing I can do to change that. I only finished 138.31 days. Yeah, not good, not good. But, you know, frankening it's good and it's bad at the same time. All right, eyeshadow. This is where things start to get interesting. So I finished the all of my Pan palette stuff. I finished the e.l.f. Mad for Matte. I had a bunch of singles. I had so many eyeshadows. And what I put in the original experiment was 375.41 days worth, or 1.028 years. That's just kind of the way it broke down. I finished everything. I have a dry throat again. Pardon me. So I finished everything and then some a lot. I finished a total of 83 eyeshadows. The ones that were in the experiment, I used strictly in my eye area. Everything else, I used in the eye area. I used, you know, as topper, you name it. I multitasked it. The amount that I finished, sorry, my brain is like, ooh, I kind of feel a little zoned out tonight. So I've got like a sinus migraine. There's weather coming in here. I finished 1.825 years worth of eyeshadow in 1 year. Yeah, crazy. And that came out to 686 point, oh no, that's an icky number, 666.31 days. I don't like that number. I much prefer the 1.825 years. I don't like the other number in days. Icky. But yeah, I finished a ton more. Besides the experiment, let me give you the breakdown. It was an extra 291 days, basically. That's a lot. So I don't even have any eyeshadow to show you because I finished it all. A lot. I finished a lot of eyeshadow. My year makeup empties is coming up very, very soon. So you'll get to see all of it spread out all over the place. And it's a lot. The last thing is the lips. And I saved this one for last purposely. Usually, you guys know I save the eyeshadow for last. But I purposely saved the lips for last because it's up to you guys to decide, is it legit or not. So I put 374.91 days, really 375 days worth of lip products in. I finished it, but you know that every single product I scraped out the base and used that. I don't know, because I don't have that kind of a micro scale, if that should count or shouldn't count. But the reason I even bring this up is because the last one standing was the Makeup Forever Artist Rouge C211. And I can't believe I said that on the first try. I finished this lipstick. It is completely done, but I have not finished scraping out the base. So that is my only holdup. I feel personally, and you guys can agree or disagree, and I would love to hear your comments in the, or read your comments. I can't hear them, but I would like to read your comments down below, whether you think this counts or not. I feel like for the experiment, it probably should count, because I could be wrong, but I think that the product amount listed is usable product. I mean, technically it's usable if you have like a lip brush or whatever, but I guess in the back of my mind, I feel like when they're giving those weights, they give the, you know, what takes you down to this plastic, and that the product that is down in the base is probably not counted. I watch too much beauty news with depotting, and a lot of those products are a little heavy, and maybe that's where my thinking comes from. I don't know, but I would like to think in my mind that I finished all of my experiment stuff to kind of get credit, if you will, for finishing them all. Because if I was to pull out every single one of those lip products, all of the bases are completely empty except for this very last one. And it does have a little dip in there. Hopefully you guys can see that dip. I had started to use it. Obviously I couldn't keep working on it. If I was working on it constantly until today filming, it would have been completely done, but it's not. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that. I feel like it should count, but you know. The the number that I finished for lip products was almost on par with my eyeshadows. Let me see exactly what my eyeshadow was. Not quite as good as the eyeshadows, but pretty darn close. I finished 942.76 days worth of lip products. So basically almost 2.6 years. 2.58 is the official years that I finished. And I did reapply more because, you know, I have discovered that I actually apply more than I realized I did when I did my numbers for this. But I only used my experiment stuff the amount of times that I said that I was going to use it for the experiment. Same with the eyeshadows, blush, highlighters, whatever. So I went way, way, way above and beyond this this experiment thing. But I feel like this, if you know, if I'm tallying it as I use it on a day-to-day basis, and this is what I have left of what was in the experiment, that's a pretty good indicator to me that that number is pretty accurate for my panning style. I don't know about other people. I will say I might be a little bit heavy-handed with my lip products. I am a lip balm, lip gloss girl, though I did put a lot of lipstick in here because formula, I think, makes a big difference. But I wanted to make sure that I put lipstick in here because it is harder for me to use. But I probably use it a little bit more because I like the feel of my lips having product on them and not being dry. I like moist lips. I said the word moist. Yes, Amanda, I said moist. Sorry if that triggered anyone. It's kind of an ongoing joke with us. But I like that feeling. I like the glossy feeling. I like the balm feeling. And so maybe I apply a little bit more. I know with Paula, she applies hers a lot more sheer. That is her preference. And I think that is where some of the difference comes in, is that some people are more heavy-handed, some people are light-handed. I know Amanda is a highlight girl. She is a highlight girl and she can pull it off. She's comfortable with it. I am definitely a more subtle highlight person, so I'm going to be a lot more light-handed with highlight than Amanda is. We both are average to a little heavy-handed with blush. We're not that far apart in age, though in all fairness, Paula is actually in the middle of the two of us, so I don't know. It's preference. It's formula. I think formula makes a huge difference. I don't know. I would like to know what you guys think of this experiment. I mean, first of all, I know a lot of you are glad that this is ending. I am glad that it's ending. I know Paula is. I know she is. Amanda, because of the way she chose to do it, it wasn't as taxing for her, but I'm sure she's very glad to have this done too. But I would like your opinions on whether you think some of these numbers are legit, whether you think they need to be reworked. I personally think the highlighters need to be reworked. That I said that from the very beginning. Blush might be a little high, but I don't think it's drastic. I think the problem was the color that I chose to add in, that bright red, and the fact that I did put 4 or 5 eyeshadows in with that franken. So that added a lot more volume. So I don't know. I want to know what you guys think. Was it fairly accurate? Did anyone else follow along and do it on their makeup? I would just love to know, because I know how I feel about it. Like the eyeshadow and the lip products, I feel were pretty spot on for my panning style. Blush, I think, was fairly close. Highlight, way no. Highlight is a no dog, not for me. So let me know what you guys think. I can't wait to see Paula's video, because just the expressions that she has on her face when she's talking about the experiment and all that she's gone through and what she should be able to finish versus what she has finished, she's going to crack me up. I know she is. So Yeah, just tell us what you think, and if there's anything else that you would like to see from the three of us, because we love to collab together, um, let us know, because you know, we're always interested in doing things. We've loved doing like the Frankens together, those kinds of things. You know, just let us know if there's anything that you would like to see from us. No more experiments like this one, though. Nothing year-long and very restricting like this. But anything else, you know, you just leave it in the comments. Let us know. All right, I am going to wrap this up. Definitely go check out Paula and Amanda. They're going to be linked down below. Of course, I'm going to have their gorgeous faces at the end. How could I not? Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until I see you in my next video, have a beautiful day.